So how do you get from $5 to $5,000? See, so many people think to grow in the stock market, it has to be this super hard and super complicated process, and it's really not if you know what you're doing. See, I've been able to get thousands of dollars in stock returns by using the same tactics that I'm gonna show you in today's video. And I'm talking about getting hundreds of dollars in the next few months. Now, before we get into the video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below saying I subscribed, and I'll try my best to reply to as many comments as possible. So since September 2018, I started off with a very small $5 weekly investment, and because of the natural and gradual fluctuations in the market, I've been able to make some big gains with very little effort. And so if you'd like to learn about the steps getting me here, the mistakes I've learned along the way, and how I make the decisions in the stock market, stay tuned and let's go. So I've been wanting to share an update since releasing this video, since so many of you had seemed to like it, and you also left a lot of questions. Now we'll be able to answer some of those questions today, and if you'd like to be part of a future Q&A video, keep leaving questions in the comment section. Click on the notification bell so you won't miss it. Now, I've wanted to invest for a really long time, even before I started investing, because it was just many years of confusion until I found Stash. Now, there are a lot of stock investing apps and platforms including M1, Robinhood, and Webull, and I've actually used a number of them. The thing is that for me to begin, Stash was the best app for me. So the growth was not overnight and definitely took time to invest. My first purchase of a stock was actually $20 worth. And the reason why is because when you first download Stash with an invite code, your first $20 is free. Now, if you'd like to get started with your free $20, go ahead and click on the invite code in the video description below. Now, when you first purchase the stock, you really get encouraged by the gains that you see. So eventually I went from $5 weekly investing to $10 and then eventually $25. Really what it's all about is reinvesting your profits and your dividends right back into the stocks, because that's when you see your growth really excel. Like with any great relationship, staying long term is what really reaps the greatest reward. So if you'd like to get started with Stash and automate your weekly investing, go ahead and click on one of these two videos to get started. So now let's check out my portfolio. So one of the questions that somebody asked me was, what do you do when you see your stocks start to lose money for you? It may sound counterintuitive, except what you want to do is continue to keep investing and buy more stocks. Any great stock and any great company will continue to grow. The thing is that it will fluctuate. It will go up and it will go down. It just will go up a lot more than it goes down. The thing is that if you start to see it go down and you sell it, then you lose the money that you would get when it gains back up. You lose some money. Now, if you look at a company like Amazon, you'll see that Amazon's stock value has grown over time. And if you look at it from a 5-year standpoint or 1-year standpoint, you'll see that it grows and it has its dips. It has its fluctuations. Now, what the great thing is that if you buy your stocks when it does have those dips, you're essentially getting those stock prices at discount. Steady growth in the stock market is definitely not about timing the market. It's about spending time in the market. So when you think about taking your money and having it in like savings accounts, the average return rate of a savings account is about 1 to 2%. Now, when it comes to the stock market, the average growth can be about 7% over the year. So you're definitely making a wise choice to be in the stock market. Now let's look at some of my top holdings. So at the top are the stocks that I purchased based on how much I invested in it. So the first stock you can see is Amazon. So Amazon, I put in about $1,000 worth of stock, and that's why with this 86.7% gains, I have about $1,900 worth of stock value. Alphabet is the stock name or the ticker name for Google. So as you can see, based on how much I bought of the stock, I've had a 63% of its stock prices increase. So next you can see Coca-Cola Company and McDonald's. Now we're talking about food here, which is always one of my favorite topics to talk about. And you see that with Coca-Cola Company, I've been investing in it for a very long time. And the reason why is because it is a brand with a lot of longevity. So when we think about the Coca-Cola business, it's not only dominating in the Coke business, it's dominating in the orange soda business and the grape juice business and even the water bottle business. And so the Coca-Cola Company will continue to grow.
I mean, Coca-Cola's been around since 1886. There's 1.8 billion 8-ounce servings of Coca-Cola products sold every day. Now, if you take 1 penny and get 1 penny extra, that's $18 million a day. And 18 million times 365 is 7 billion, 3 less 730 billion, or $6,570,000,000. So annually, $6,570,000,000 from 1 penny. Do you think Coca-Cola is worth a penny more than, Joe's Cola? I think so. So, and I've got about 127 years of history that would indicate it.
As the population continues to grow, as the prices of the products continue to grow, they will continue to grow, and their stock prices will grow with it. So McDonald's, similar to Coca-Cola, it's almost like it's part of American tradition. Coca-Cola started off in Atlanta, Georgia, and McDonald's started off in San Bernardino, California. They're both American-based companies, and they've grown so much not only in the country, also across the entire world. So their growth will continue to perpetuate. So Berkshire Hathaway is owned by Warren Buffett. So if you're not familiar with him, he is the most successful investor of the 21st century and maybe possibly the world. He's also one of the top 5 richest men in the entire world, and he knows about businesses, he knows about stocks, and so you purchase his stock, you can be sure that it will continue to grow. So Gilead Services provides medical services, and it was one of those brands that was being talked about during the quarantine. So I was told by a friend to get Gilead specifically, and I listened to her. And that's the problem sometimes, is when you listen to things that people are talking about. Because to be successful in the stock market, you really have to have a great temperament. Warren Buffett once said that you don't have to be really smart. You don't have to really have a high IQ for the stock market, which you really
I figured out very early, you don't have to be that smart in this business, which is fortunate. But you do have to have the right temperament. And you have to be able to ignore what other people are saying and simply look at the facts and decide, is this stock which is selling at X worth 2X? And occasionally you'll find things like that, and when you don't find them, you don't do anything.
With Gilead Services, she talked about it, I bought it, and now it's down 16%, I'm just losing money. And I still don't know anything about vaccines, even with vaccines having been released, and there are like 3, and there are two vaccines, and none of them are Gilead. So that wasn't a good idea. So corporate cannabis, another purchase that I made based on what somebody else told me. So a friend told me that, cannabis being legalized is going to be used in a whole bunch of different products, and it's just going to go crazy. And it's true that it was being used as an ingredient in products, especially CBD. The thing is that I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't see that many products using it, and I didn't really do a lot of research. And corporate cannabis continues to be still, both stocks and ETFs, the one purchase that had the most decrease in gains, except for one other one. And that is the dreaded GameStop. Oh, GameStop, what a horrible purchase. So one night, I'm minding my own business, and I had a friend send a text and share that GameStop is the stock to get because something was happening with Redditors. I saw that GameStop had increased so much, and at that point I thought, well, it's too late now. There's no riding this wave. It's gonna go down eventually because it's increased so much. And then about another day later, everyone's talking more about GameStop, and I was talking to another friend, and they were very interested in it. And I thought, okay, you know what? Everyone's so excited. Maybe this momentum will continue to grow. And so I did purchase it, except I only purchased a little bit of it, especially since I lost so much money. It has gone down 80%, and it's not looking like it's going up, because why would it? GameStop is based on physical locations that sell something that now everyone buys digitally. So I'm glad that you're investing. And speaking of making money in the stock market, you really need to know the right steps and the right techniques on choosing the right stocks. And also check out this video right here to discover how you can choose the right stocks. This video is filled with steps and tips and tricks that are really truly valuable. You won't regret it, so definitely check it out. And thank you so much for watching today's video. My name is Jay, and I'll see you in the next video.